Hey everybody! Looks like you made a wrong turn and found yourself in a strange place. I'm Philosophy Bee. Today, we're gonna talk about death. Oh boy, I sure do love dying. Isn't that right, Mr. Platypus?
That's right, Philosophy Bee. I can't wait to get dying.
Oh, but that's the joy, Mr. Platypus. You're already dying right now. It's the only guaranteed thing which will happen to you. It is the one possibility that's always with you.
Always with me? Is it there when I'm sleeping?
It sure is.
Is it there when I'm awake?
You betcha.
Is it there when I'm masturbating furiously to get in time for the 8th time that day while choking myself with a belt in a desperate attempt to get some minuscule release from the suffering of life?
Death is there watching and waiting for every single moment.
Oh boy! I bet Death is gonna need a therapist after watching me this whole time.
We'll all need a therapist to handle you, Mr. Platypus. Why don't you show everyone at home how to die?
Okay, wait for it. Am I doing it?
He's doing it.
I'm doing it.
Look at him go.
I'm dying.
You sure got it down, Mr. Platypus. Keep it up and you'll be dead in no time. But did you know death is actually the impossible possibility?
What? Death is impossible? I'm not gonna die? Ah!
Calm down, Mr. Platypus. You're definitely gonna die.
Hooray!
A long time ago, in a far-off place called Deutschland, there was a philosopher named Martin Heidegger. He famously said of all the possibilities that exist for Dasein, his fancy word for humans, death is the impossible possibility. Heidegger says, quote, "Death is something that stands before us, something impending. Death is the possibility of the absolute impossibility of Dasein. Being towards this possibility as a being which exists is brought face to face with the absolute impossibility of existence."
Am I Dasein?
Well, of course you are, Mr. Platypus. You and me.
Philosophy Bee, I don't understand what the Heidegger is saying.
I'm sure you don't, Mr. Platypus. You have to remember, death is a possibility. But what is a possibility? A possibility could be actualized, but is not yet. Possibilities lie in our future, literally standing before us. Possibility is a precondition to actualization. You could say possibilities are the infrastructure for potential actualization. Dasein has the ability to understand its possibilities. This understanding means Dasein is able to sketch out what is before it, but also not yet present. But death is the one possibility where one cannot sketch out beyond it. It is the possibility where possibilities as such become impossible for Dasein. There's nothing left that stands before it. A Dasein without possibilities is no Dasein, I can tell you that.
I had no idea.
Now, here's a slightly topical example from mass media.
I love mass media.
You have to return to your body now. You don't have time.
Time is relative. Your body hasn't even hit the floor yet. I've spent so many years peering through time, looking at this exact moment, but I can't see past it. I've prevented countless terrible futures, and after each one there's always another, and they all lead here, but never further.
You think this is where you die?
You wonder what I see in your future?
No. Yes?
I never saw your future, only its possibilities.
I'm not ready.
No one ever is. We don't get to choose our time. Death is what gives life meaning. To know your days are numbered, your time is short. You'd think after all this time I'd be ready. But look at me. stretching one moment out into 1,000, just so that I can watch the snow.
So Dasein, as a being which sketches out possibilities, is deeply concerned with those possibilities. Dasein cares so much about its possibilities that it will do everything it can to have more possibilities. Remember when I said death is the only guaranteed possibility, and it is always with you? This guaranteed and continuously imminent possibility is the ground which all other possibilities spring from. You could say that all of human existence is a continuous dodging of death, an evasion of the possibility without possibilities, where possibilities as such become impossible. Before we leave, here's a quote by Heidegger to confuse you more. Quote, "The closest closeness which one may have in being towards death as a possibility is as far as possible from anything actual. The more unveiledly this possibility gets understood, the more purely does the understanding penetrate into it as the possibility of the impossibility of any existence at all. Death, as possibility, gives Dasein nothing to be actualized, nothing which actual Dasein, as actual, could itself be. It is the possibility of impossibility of every way of existing. In the anticipation of this possibility, it becomes greater and greater. That is to say, the possibility reveals itself to be such that it knows no measure at all, no more, no less, but signifies the possibility of the measureless impossibility of existence. In accordance with its essence, this possibility offers no support for becoming intent on some picturing to oneself the actuality which is possible, and so forgetting its possibility. Being towards death as anticipation of possibility is what first makes the possibility possible, sets it free as possibility. Well, that's all for today's video. Thanks everybody. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and support the channel on Patreon. Come on, Mr. Platypus, let's get to dying.
Oh, yeah, I sure do love dying.